Hello friends, Love you Ashraf here. So for today's video, we'll show you around these 5 beautiful hidden Europe gems and secret destinations to discover. Hope you like this video. Thank you all for your support. Situated high up in the Pyrenees mountain range, squeezed in between France in the north and Spain in the south, sits Andorra. This beautiful little sovereign state remains unknown to most, despite having gained its independence twice, once in the 1200s and again in the 1800s. This makes it an ideal destination for anyone looking to see a different side of Europe. Andorra is home to Andorra la Vella, which is the highest capital city in Europe. It's best known for its skiing and snowboarding, which really doesn't come as a surprise, as its location in the Pyrenees Mountains means fantastic snowfall all the way from the start of winter until late spring. Andorra is also known as somewhat of a tax haven to its small number of frequenters. In fact, most of the shopping there is tax-free, and those who are in the know for often found shopping for designer brands, luxury perfumes, and alcohol there. Luckily, Andorra operates on the euro, making it stress-free to hit the shopping district for a few select purchases. There are also a number of fantastically preserved Romanesque historical sites that you really must see when you visit Andorra. If you have visited either France or Spain before, you'll be able to pick up parts of familiar styles of architecture, design, and art, which evolved in the Spanish and French styles we know so well today. Andorra is a small country but an extremely interesting one. This tiny country has one of the most unique histories and cultures in Europe, and there's a surprising amount of interesting tidbits that you've never assumed from a first glance. Yes, Andorra, it does exist, and it's been around in some form for almost 1,000 years. It has a seat in the United Nations, an Olympic team, and diplomatic relations with other countries. Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein is another small, unique monarchical country surrounded by Austria on its north and east sides, and Switzerland on the west and south. Like Andorra, Liechtenstein is also in a high-altitude, mountainous region, making it popular for winter sports. Vaduz Castle, situated in the capital city of the same name, is where the ruling prince lives and is visible from all around the city and is positioned atop a steep hill. This saddle is another popular attraction in Liechtenstein, a pedestrian main street bustling with shops, cafes and restaurants, and museums. The Kunstmuseum Liechtenstein is the world-famous museum of modern and contemporary art, with special exhibitions and plenty about the history and art of the nation. A real little gem in this area is the 500-year-old Rural Lifestyle Museum. So, if you're a fan of the Rhine River and the Alps, a visit to Liechtenstein should be high up on your list of priorities. In 1719, Liechtenstein became a principality in the Holy Roman Empire. In 1815, Liechtenstein became part of the Germanic Confederation after being declared a sovereign state. It gained its independence in 1866 due to the dissolution of the Confederation, at which point it also eliminated its army. One of the most unique Liechtenstein facts is that this country still has no army, and it has made a point of avoiding confrontation with other nations. This country's close proximity to Austria made it easy for the two nations to stay on particularly good terms for years, but World War I changed this. The economy was suddenly suffering, which meant Liechtenstein had to go into a trade bloc with Switzerland. The result was that the two countries shared one currency and had the same external trade rules. North Macedonia. Deep in the Balkans, the Republic of North Macedonia is a country formed in 1991 which was formerly part of the communist state of Yugoslavia. As one can imagine, the nation has been through a tumultuous history of war and previous lack of identity, causing it to often fall just short of your usual list of countries to visit in Europe. It's bordered by Serbia to the north, Bulgaria on east, Greece in the south, and Albania in the west. This is a pretty accurate representation of the unique people and culture that North Macedonia holds. It's also one of the original Romani areas from where the Roma travelers originate. Skopje, North Macedonia's capital city, is a beautiful gem of a city, far outshining many of those located in more popular and frequently visited European nations. It's got a beautiful blend of refined European modernity, life and culture, combined with an old Ottoman quarter which dates back hundreds of years into the Ottoman Empire. The cuisine in North Macedonia has a similarly rich mix of heritage and cultures, as well as flavors. Thanks to the incredible farmlands, they have some of the best selections of fresh herbs, fruits and vegetables, and are renowned for their wines, dairy, and coffee. If you're a foodie traveling Europe, looking for something new, then a trip to North Macedonia is going to be your number one target. North Macedonia is the only country that got independence from Yugoslavia without shedding a single drop of blood. It remained entirely at peace at the heat of Yugoslav wars in the early 1990s and got independence from Yugoslavia in 1991. The country has many as 34 mountain peaks, each with a height of more than 2,000 meters above the sea level, with Mount Golem Kar being the highest at 2,753 meters above sea level. Most peaks in Macedonia have never been visited by people. Georgia. Tbilisi is the capital city of Georgia, one of the most underrated European cities, and in the past years has gone through somewhat of a facelift, a modern renaissance geared towards authentic, family-run art shops, restaurants, guest houses, and more. The currency in Georgia is the lari, which will get a good exchange rate on coming in with euros. In the countryside, in the province of Isbanati, lies the Caucasus Mountains. The area is home to some incredibly well-preserved medieval structures of watchtowers and outposts, an Asian defense against would-be invaders. The mountains are also a great place to head for a hike of just about any length with small, welcoming towns dotted all along the way. You won't struggle to find a warming meal after a day in the breeze of the sunny hills of the mountain range. Georgia is home to Stone Mountain, a monument for Confederate icons Stonewall Jackson, General Robert E. Lee, and President Jefferson Davis. Its sculptures include the sculptor who went on to carve Mount Rushmore, and it has been called the world's largest tribute to white supremacy. Georgia has been producing wine for at least 8,000 years and is considered to be the birthplace of the beverage. The production of the wine was accidental. The grape juice poured in a shallow pit and was buried under the ground, turning it into wine. UNESCO has listed the traditional Georgian winemaking method in a clay jar called a qvevri on its Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity list. Georgia has 12 different climate zones, ranging from subtropical to alpine to semi-desert, and has 49 types of soil. This makes Georgia one of the most ecological diverse countries on Earth. In addition, many of the most exciting animals like leopards, insects, and bears reside in the dense forest of the country. Abundant powder, spectacular views, and wide open slopes make Georgia's ski resort Godauri an excellent destination for heli skiing and free-riding lovers. Godauri is up-and-coming ski destinations without the crowds of other European resorts. And even if you are not an adrenaline junkie, Godauri still offers great slopes for skiers and snowboarders. Luxembourg, a small country situated between Belgium, France, and Germany, Luxembourg is a relatively well-known nation when compared to the rest of the spots on the list. However, most people seem to assume that it is in fact just a city in one of its three neighboring nations. Luckily though, like their neighbors, they use the euro, so you won't encounter any currency issues here. The most commonly known feature of Luxembourg is the world-famous Notre Dame Cathedral. Built in the 17th century, this cathedral is a great spot to visit for some neo-Gothic and Renaissance architecture. There's also somewhat haunting crypt in which the Luxembourg Grand Ducal family are buried. The museum was designed by the same Loveu who created the Louvre Pyramid, and features regularly updated exhibits of modern and contemporary art of a world-class level. If you're looking for something a little more nature-oriented and less city-centric, however, the Mullertal region has it all. It's also known as Little Switzerland and is centered around a small town with a population of less than 200, the perfect place to head for some quiet and seclusion. Mullertal has plenty of long-distance hiking trails to explore, of various difficulties and lengths, as well as forests, caves, and mountain biking trails to explore if you're feeling adventurous. With around 170 different nationalities living in the country, immigrating to Luxembourg is a popular choice for many expats. Portuguese make up the biggest group at 16.4%. Additionally, just over 60% of the population of Luxembourg have an immigrant background according to the Duchy of Luxembourg's statistic portal. Luxembourg is one of the smallest countries in the world. It has an area of around 2,586 square kilometers, about the same size as the country of Dorset in the UK, and slightly smaller than Rhode Island in the US. So that's it for today, my friends. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for your support. Hope you enjoy our travel for today. So if you are new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell to get notified whenever we post our new videos. Thank you all so much again, and see you on our next videos. Bye for now.